To find the rate of change in a table, I need to set up the ratio of the change in y over the change in x. There's a formula I could use, and it's y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1. This would give me the change in y, the ratio of the change in y over the change in x. So I pick any two y's from my table. Let's say I wanted to pick 3 and 11. My second y I chose was 11. So that would equal 11 minus 3 divided by, and now I pick the corresponding x's that goes with those y's. The corresponding x with 11 would be 2 minus, and the corresponding x with 3 would be 0. 11 minus 3 is 8. And 2 minus 0 is 2, and now I just simplify. 8 divided by 2 would give me 4. So the rate of change in this table would be 4. Now let's go to my horizontal table. I'm going to follow the same steps. The ratio of the change of y, that's y sub 2 minus y sub 1, divided by the change of x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Once again, I pick any two y's. So I'm going to pick my first two, 2 and 3. So I got the second one I chose. The second y was 3. I'm going to subtract 2 divided by the corresponding x that goes with 3 is 5. And the corresponding x that goes with 2 is 7. Equals 3 minus 2 is 1, and then 5 minus 7 would give me negative 2. So the rate of change would be negative 1/2 of my second table. And there's another way I could have done this without setting up this formula. I could have simply found the difference between, or my change from one y to the other. So I could choose any two y's. Let's say I wanted to choose 19 and 35. The change from 19 to 35 would be a positive 16. And if I chose 19 and 35, I would choose 4, the corresponding x's, 4 and 8. And from 4 to 8, it changed by a positive 4. So my change in y would be 16. And my change in x would be 4. And 16 divided by 4 is 4. So I end up with the same rate of change. Let's say I wanted to do the same thing for the horizontal. My change in y, let's go from 2 to 6. My change in y would be a positive 4. And now if I chose 2 to 6, I have to go from 7 to negative 1. My change in x would be a negative 8. So I set that up. The change in y would be 4. My change in x would be negative 8. When I simplify that, that would simplify to negative 1/2. My rate of change stayed the same.